Hello, everybody. My name is Pleeps.
Hello.
Well, that was the whole thing.
Oh,
Anyways, my name is Pleeps.
my name is Ross.
I'm Eve.
And I'm Neo.
We are the Wednesday crew. And we're going to be starting something special tonight, I hope. Welcome to Wednesday Crew Reviews. Ooh, fancy. Uh, so we need to first explain a lot of things, so please bear with us, especially since this is the first episode. We'll probably have to explain a lot of this in subsequent episodes, but we can probably be faster, I hope. So,
Maybe we'll actually make a script for once.
I have talking points, but scripting grouped things is hard and not a good idea. Like, properly scripting it. So, every other Wednesday, we play games. That sounds like a weird sentence, but it'll make sense in a bit. And I decided it might be fun to review them. This is all catching up so far.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
first off, let's explain the criteria for the games that we play. In that every single game we have even the remote amount of interest in, we immediately go and play. Well, no, that's not right. We put in a wheel, spin that wheel, and then immediately go and play. That is to say, every single game, however we gain the interest, could be a trailer, could be talk, could just be a friend of ours happened to offhandedly mention it.
Yep.
Or, as is the case as often, Eve will just literally pick the front page of Steam.
Yep.
Or from stuff YouTubers
Hey,
that I watch.
I
gotta
get
say
into
this.
games too.
I've done. There was one night where even I both did the Steam game, whatever
know.
Steam showed us.
I mean, we all know
That
what
was
that.
one night,
We
though.
all know what that led to. Anyways,
Cruiser Simulator.
we'll get to that in a second.
Mhm.
We'll get to that in a second.
Anyway,
Now that it is a second, there are to make things easier and to explain our stances and what curve we're grading on. There are four what I'm going to call grading curves. All these curves and all these categories can have good and bad games, but you're really looking for something different in each of these. The first category is mainstream. I don't need to explain this category.
No, you do not.
These are the games that if you're even semi-aware of gaming, you've at the very least heard of.
yep.
Uh,
I
the,
would consider Minecraft, Call of Duty,
yes, and
those type of games.
the big example we have here is Pokemon Gen 1. As an example of something we've covered.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, this one's the least amount of time. And obviously, there are some mainstream treasure, there are some mainstream trash. The real point is, I don't really need to explain much of what those games are. You know them.
There's a lot of mainstream trash.
Not
I'll be
wrong.
honest.
Our next
Anyway.
category are hidden gems. These are games that you probably haven't heard of. So these are little games that we find through our own research, and we're like, or from a friend or whatever, that we're like, we never really heard it before we played it, but oh my god, is this game good? Or at the very least, interesting. And worth checking out in the future or whatever. Because I think about it, it is a fine line between hidden gem and the fourth category. We'll get to that in a second. Just as it can be a fine line between mainstream and our third category. Our big example of hidden gem game that was like Bap Bap, which you can check out the stream on that.
Mm-hmm.
Our third category, and our as a group personal favorite, 15 minutes of fame games. Now, we are biased because our group literally formed on the basis of a 15-minute of fame game. That is how we all met.
I think that description is a little sus.
Ross!
God!
And
Ross.
even without digging into both me and Ross's channel, you now know which one.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, the point is, they're games that are basically mainstream for like a year. sometimes less than a year, but around a year mark, really, where these games are like everybody's talking about it. Our personal favorite currently 50-minute of fame game is Repo,
Yeah, we
which
like
is a
it
game
lot.
that we've come back to recently. We've been enjoying, and also among our mutual group of friends has some love. Like I said, 50-minute of fame games, they can be good. They can have redeeming remarks. And our fourth category and final category, shovelware. Now, I want to be clear about something. Shovelware doesn't mean bad. Most often it does, but not always. What it does mean is absolutely no effort was put in by the developers at all to make anything interesting.
And our best example for this was Loser Simulator,
100%. Any fun
which
the
we still had a
games,
good time.
any fun the game had is probably incidental. Anyways, pretending that I didn't tell you guys when we planned this video out, what category do you guys think That's Not My Neighbor fits into?
I think I would. English is hard.
I
Ignore me. I'm
Not gonna
just-
lie, to me, it feels like 15 minutes of fame.
agree because I heard a lot of people at one point.
Yeah.
I think when the game was first released on Twitch, I believe it was a big like YouTuber like, oh, go here, what's the mystery with the clown and whatnot game.
Yeah, people.
But then I haven't heard of anything about it in like a year.
I
think?
mean, again, pretending that I didn't already tell you guys the answer in our rehearsal. But yes, this is a 50 minutes of fame game. This game was huge for a few months, and then it fell off pretty quickly. And I guess, should it have stayed around, or shouldn't it have? Obviously, where to start? Right, so a little bit of background. This is a Paper Please inspired game where you're processing people enter an apartment, and you have to make sure that no doppelgangers enter, which are people that are off or that don't have the right stuff or whatever. Inspired by the likes of Papers, Please. We'll get back to that.
Yep.
So, I'll start this video now. I'll lower the volume on it a little bit, though. So, first thing to note, I was not able to recreate it, but there was a glitch in our very first attempt to do the tutorial. Like I said, I wasn't able to recreate it in here.
You're gonna have to check out my video for to see
Which
that
will
glitch.
be up, which will be linked in the video when it's uploaded. Ross better remind me.
Yep.
But yes.
Okay.
But yes, I was not able to recreate it, but there was a glitch where during the tutorial, that thing wouldn't open up, and it was basically like if we were in full screen mode. The game has not been updated since our original playthrough, so I don't know why it isn't triggering now. Maybe it has something to do with it being a new save file or what. But I absolutely could not re-trigger it. That is the first thing I want to note.
It's been almost a week,
Yeah.
and we had recorded the original thing on April. What was last?
I mean,
Wednesday?
it's a moot point. The game hadn't gotten an update since then.
Right.
So
It was on Thursday, first of all.
So point is, yeah, we were having difficulty starting the game. We eventually got it working, but it definitely started our exploration of this one off on the wrong foot. I'm going to skip forward a little bit to our general... Oh, already there. To our general footage here. I played a game. Anyways, right, so... so, as you can see here, the general idea of the game is thus. Person shows up. We look to see if they are on the list. If they are, we're good. Then we double check their information with their IDs and other such things. But now I can talk about one of my notes. The characters in the apartments and what apartment they're in are always the same. That means that the game can be memorized, but it means some stuff we'll talk about later. But generally speaking,
Yes.
what?
Sorry, I heard something in the background.
We have to try and
Together.
we have to try and ignore background noise, please. We're trying
Hey.
to be a little professional here. So, I guess I'm just going to put out and say my stance on the game. I don't like it. Yeah. So, I have a couple reasons for that. But first off, and the most obvious one, there isn't really any feedback. So you'll hear you put them on the list, and you enter them or deny them. The game will not tell you if you're wrong at all till the end, and that kind of made it vapid. It also doesn't help that the campaign mode of this game we were able to beat in less than an hour and a half.
Right, it was rather short.
So that is, I guess, my first real point of complaint. The game really doesn't have a lot going for it. But I assure you, I've got a lot more tamming than that.
Well, I do agree with you that, like, unless you're playing Nightmare mode, which I believe, I don't know if you ever tested it in the stream, but I believe if you fail it, it'll immediately kill you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going the regular campaign, like, there is no, like, they do not tell you if you're right or wrong until the very end, which I agree with you. Does like a, I don't know, it feels weird. Like, it feels like you should be, like, known, like, oh, that person was a doppelganger.
Another note that I need to bring up is there is no reason to ever deny anybody. In fact, you are actively discouraged from doing so.
Right, because we had, for our very first run that we did, we denied 2 people, or was it 3?
And they 2 people, and they were just dead for the rest of the game.
Like, they never came back, and that ended up not screwing us over, but I can tell, like, okay, you do that to the wrong apartment, then it will. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would, but that's besides the point. So that is my main point of contention. But I got here. Let me grab my talking points document because like I said, I did come prepared.
Should we give our
Yeah,
own
yeah, of
perspectives on the
course.
game?
Yeah, of
like,
course.
like our initial thoughts?
Yeah,
I wanted to like this game.
that's entirely fair. Yeah.
And there are aspects of it that I do like, but I feel like it needed this game feels like in
Yeah.
maybe like a year or two it could use a remaster, like updating
I don't
some
know if
things,
that
you
would
know what I
fix
mean?
some of the core issues, but let me talk about one of my other talking points here.
Yep.
Something this game lacks that I think it desperately needs: a time limit. Fact is, this guy shows up and I can spend as much time as I want looking over his stuff. I don't in this footage because I want to keep this footage moving, but nothing is stopping me from. Which,
So you're saying like in other games we'll talk about those, but how other games you're like losing money, for example.
we will get to that in a second. We will. But that's my main
Right.
point here is there is again, no pressure on things you make to lose. There's no real consequences at all for losing, other than just losing and having less points. And there is no time limit, so you can sit on this for as long as you want it. Now, and again, I do find the repetitive neighbors very boring. Now, they do have something to alleviate that, but I don't think it's as good a solution as it could be. So just follow me for a second to the end of the footage. Oh, we almost passed it. Oh, come on. There we go. We have custom mode. You can make custom neighbors, but it doesn't alleviate my problem because A, you place them where you want and they're going to be there forever. And B, there isn't really a quick way to randomize them or place them in random spots so that it's different every time.
Right.
What this ultimately means, and this is ultimately, I guess, my final say, without considering other games, Getting ahead of ourselves. Stop it. Without considering other games, and you can see obviously what game I'm considering when we skip that footage. That's what you get for here. Finicky gameplay. Anyways, without considering other games, one of the big things we get here is boredom. We're going to lose interest in this game because it is the same things, the same people, time and time again.
Can I voice one of my complaints about the game?
Sure, yeah, of course.
Can you pull up like any part of the video where it's like, oh, you're pulling up like the menu of like who all is in the apartments or something like that? I feel like the menu stuff is a little big, and there's no way to like adjust it.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, that's fine. That is fine. I actually like that. And again, I will talk about why in a little bit. But I do see why it can bother you.
Yeah,
Another point we're
it's
going to make in a little bit,
too big.
though. So, there is my general consensus. I think this game, just as a game, needs a bit more work. It's now time for a category we like to call They Just Don't Get It. And now we go to this footage. Welcome to the game that this game is trying to imitate.
Boom.
Papers, Please.
Boom.
Full bias, I have 100% completed this game 5 times and was
Oh
in
my
the
God.
middle of a playthrough that I was able to resume that save file.
God damn.
So,
I don't remember if I ever finished a playthrough of Papers, Please.
point is, though, it is a lot longer than That's Not My Neighbor, first off. But second off,
Right.
so let's, first off, before we even do anything else, let's go over what we have here. First up, as you can see on the bottom left, a clock.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's because this game has a time limit. Now, this game also has very specific story events that are also something you have to factor in, but most importantly is the time limit. If the time limit runs out and the story events haven't triggered, you'll be able to keep playing, but you will not get paid for it. So that means that I am incentivized when I eventually press the start the game button. I double check the settings just a little bit.
Yep.
When I eventually press the start the game button,
Excuse me.
the time clock goes, and I am under pressure to be as fast as possible. So we'll see it. I will look through fast to make sure everything is the same. First thing I will always check is to make sure what rules we're using because it's been a while since I played. Which, another point I actually want to bring in. Let's go back to that little scene right there where I bring that up. Every single level of Papers, Please, which are days, changes the
Usually
rules.
changes.
The rules. Because they change the rules, it just makes the game, it makes the campaign more fun to play. Because, you have to think about different things. It just makes things more fun.
Agreed. Also, I want to real quickly say that I don't know if I need to clarify this, but I always should acknowledge That's Not My Neighbor is specifically indie. If I remember correctly, I believe it's made by one guy. I have no clue what the
Papers,
story
Please
of
was
development
also
was. Paper,
made
Please.
by one guy. Made by
Was it
one
also made by one
guy
guy?
a lot longer before Papers, before That's My Neighbor. Not My Neighbor.
Okay.
Anyways,
I didn't know if it
yeah.
was or not, so I wanted to
Another
acknowledge
thing
it.
with this footage I want to show off is, so in That's Not My Neighbor, when we reject somebody, they're rejected. And there is no reason to send them away over capturing them. There just is no reason. But remember the time limit. And watch how long it takes when I send this guy to prison. So from the moment I can't get another guy in until that happens.
That guy steps out.
And then also, and this is another thing this game has over That's Not My Neighbor, story events. The campaign has a bunch of story events, meaning that not only do you have a lot of different rules to process every day, you also have various things going on that are basically making it more interesting than just the same person walks up to you the 7,000th time. So, generally speaking, everything That's Not My Neighbor does, Papers, Please does more better, and out of pure curiosity, let me go into the Steam store for a second. That's Not My Neighbor will run you $4. Papers, Please will run you $12. So a little more Canadian, that is. So it's a little more expensive, but I think it is well worth it. Again, bias. I did just explain how I've played about the game about 5 times through. But here is the honest thing. There is some value in That's Not My Neighbor. And this sounds like a compliment, and it is. But it's backhanded, I am sorry to say. Because every ounce of value that you can get out of That's Not My Neighbor, you can get here. This is the web version of That's Not My Neighbor. There are a few quality of life features that the full version added, but the honest truth is,
Honestly, I forgot that
this
where you moved your
free
mouse, it adjusted the thing.
this free web version that I just showed off is better. And I think that is the most damning thing for the Steam version of That's Not My Neighbor. All the parts of the game that are actually worth playing, you can get for free. And that is That's Not My Neighbor, the first game on Wednesday Crew Review.
Ethan, Nia, you guys have any thoughts?
Personally, I think some of my thoughts were kind of already said, but just to reiterate, the game is good but could be better.
Right,
And I
could
feel
see
like
a
it's
vision.
I feel like it's a bit of a shame to me because like I feel like it's abandoned at this point.
100%.
As a lot of people say.
So,
what'd you say?
It has good bones, it just needs more work.
yeah, I do want.
Right.
Because I love Papers, Please, but I have played it to death, I do want a game that tries what it does but actually gets it. I have unfortunately yet to see that game, despite many games trying.
I only know of this game at trying, so if you have another one, I would love to try that.
I
Like, at
have
least
I
see
have
what-
personally tried one other. I have heard of a few others, but I have personally tried one other. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah, do it. Because I'm curious. 'Cause
But
I like the idea. I like the gameplay idea of Papers, Please, where like you gotta like basically quadruple check information, make sure stuff is right before like something bad happens. It doesn't
it
even
is
have to be
also
paperwork.
worth noting that Papers, Please proper is on our list. So
That's true.
So that being said, that is all I have got to say for this game. Join us in 2 weeks when this can't be right. It says Neo reviews Madagascar carts.
Neo.
Neo, what the hell?
Were you talking to Mort again?
Anyways, that is
That
it.
was bad.
That is it for today. We are the Wednesday Crew. There will be a link to Ross's channel on both Twitch and YouTube, where you can check out a lot of the Wednesday Crew episodes we have done, and a link to this specific VOD when it gets uploaded. So do check that out. As a reminder, my name was Bleeps.
My name is Ross.
My name is Eve.
And my name was Neo.
Guess messed the bit up immediately. Ross, you did good. Eve and Neo missed the idea.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Wait, was there a bit we're
there
following?
wasn't much we could
oh,
say.
I did was, you did is. They were supposed to do like future tense.
Oh.
Anyways, more
Oh.
importantly than this stupid bit, have a good night.
Future tense? What?